It's a new day, and we have two new topics with two new great and wonderful speakers that we're having today, and all beautiful and gorgeous. So we thank their time very much and their initiative as well in fulfilling the actual aim of the company, Cogent Integrated Business Solutions, in sharing the knowledge to the community for free and creating an informed and empowered community through the Zipinars that we are doing. We do it for 1 hour. We call it Zipinar, as we try to zip in two wonderful topics, very insightful topics in just a short period of time. So not waste your time, but definitely will increase your knowledge. And here for the first topic that we have today, we have future and creative careers featuring writing. So the future of career isn't limited to only professional courses now. Creative careers are making their mark in the industry with ample amount of potential to unleash one's capability, professionalism, and talent. And this will be delivered to us by Ms. Sonali Sharma, who is an author, a freelance and content strategist, founder, director of Content Bank. And she is a young girl from a small town of Mumbai. India is a best-selling author, business owner, and undergraduate student. Currently, she's preparing for cost and management accountancy alongside her business. She's writing since her school days, and she started as a column writer for magazines and aviation companies, and later switched as a full-time writing coach and became the founder and director of Content Bank, content marketing and management company. And here to deliver, without further ado, Ms. Shanali Sarma to give us the topic for the first section. Please take over.
You might be wondering, right? What can be creative about careers? Well, let me tell you that our lives, just imagine what will our lives be without creativity? Maybe dull, maybe colorless, or maybe monotonous. Austin Kleon, in his best selling trilogy, says that when we do something repetitively, say for example, writing, which was considered as a hobby, but slowly and gradually, when we start processing this and inculcate in our day to day life habits, it later turns into our full time, maybe a full time profession or something that we are capable of doing. Because hobbies or say our passion is something which our mind and heart actually desires to do. And yes, there were the constraints and the barriers because of which we just went into a typical kind of education, which is, going to high schools, pursuing undergraduate degrees, pursuing professional courses, and getting cut from our hobbies and passion. So, hello, hi everyone, and namaste from India. I'm Sonali, a best-selling author for non-fiction, which comes under self-help for teenagers, and founder director of my company Content Bank, which is a social media and a content marketing agency. Today, I will be sharing about writing, why writing comes in the creative career, and how it has the capability to unleash your potential. So, firstly, thank you so much, Phil, for having me here and for such a lovely introduction. Thanks for your warm welcome. So, come on, let's dive into. Do you remember the era when writing was just considered as a hobby or, say, something which can only be done in the leisure time activity? But slowly and gradually, as the time progressed, we came deeper into technologies, we came to know about different career opportunities, and especially in the post-COVID era, or say maybe in the COVID era, wherein people actually started to lose jobs, the company were laying off tons amount of employees. That is the time when we actually realized that not just professional degrees, not just undergraduation courses will give you the stability in life to lead your life ahead. That is the time when we understood that yes, our skills are the matter of core competence rather than just our professional degrees. No doubt that professional degrees can give you a wide area of opportunities. They can also give you a wide amount of exposure that is required in a professional and career growth. But coming to a part where it drives about skills. Now, take an example. If a person, say Mr. A, he has a degree in chartered accountancy, but he has no skills in using softwares like Tele ERP or SAP software. And on the other hand, there is this person B who is much more skilled, who is talented, and who has just done a small kind of diploma or has learned many things about finances. And he has the skill, He has a talent and he knows, he has the information about how to run Tally ERP, how to run SAP softwares, which are specifically used in finance industries to create balance sheets, to create cash flows. Now, who is the person as an asset for a company? Mr. A with just a degree, or Mr. B with not exactly a qualified degree, but with a good kind of skill set? I think Mr. B, right? Because when you have skill, when you have confidence, you can literally turn anything and drive crazy solutions, creative solutions to your business. And I think this is what we all are looking forward to. Now, coming back to the part writing, as I said, we will be specifically talking about writing as a focus point in the creative careers. But yeah, before we move forward to the writing, not just writing, because yes, as I mentioned, writing was considered as a hobby, but many other activities, say musicians, guitarists, dance, and many more streams which were just considered as a side business or side hobbies are now turning into a full-time professionals. Now coming back to writing, I believe where businesses writing definitely flows in. Why? Because whenever we see business, for example, if I'm going through some business, say if I want to purchase grocery and I want it to be delivered within 10 minutes, I'll open up the website, I'll search for Dunzo. As we know, Dunzo is a leading grocery app which delivers vegetables within 10 to 20 minutes at your home. Now, what I see on their website is the content. Am I right? And when we talk about content, why is content the base of your business? Because content is something, term it as a tool, term it as an element. It literally bridges the gap between business and a customer. So when I open the website, if I go through the website and I find the content appealing, if I find that it is catchy and it is hooking me up, it is persuading me more to literally sit and read the entire blog, entire article, whatever the website or the company has posted, which means your content game is strong and people are attracting towards your product, people are getting attracted towards your services. Hence, content writing, content is the main industry. Now when we talk about content writing, there are different genres or maybe say different elements which considers into content writing: copywriting, blog writing, article writing, SOP writing, thesis writing for PhD professionals, and also script writing for podcasters, vloggers, and videographies, or people who post consistent videos on YouTube. Hence, talking about writing, now we will dive a little more deep and learn how writing brings in a wide array of opportunities, and you have a right chance now if you have a hobby, as if you are into writing, or someday if you think that you want to become a writer or you want something which makes you happy and you want to pursue your hobby. And if it is writing, this information will definitely help you out. So coming back to the part, the very first thing that I talked about was blog writing. Now, when we talk about blog writing, many businesses, not just businesses, in fact, corporate people, corporate companies, MNCs, manufacturing agencies, service-based models, or say educational platforms, many platforms. Blog is something which is a core uh, engine or core route, I would say, that has the potential to drive in customers or leads to your business. Now, why? When we talk about business, 70% or say majority of the business in today's century, in today's modern era, is online. And when we talk about online, we definitely want the best of services as it is time saving, and also the search results which rank faster and higher on Google are the companies or are the services which are more credible. So if I have a company and if I own my company's page on Google, that is my website, and now I want many people to become aware about it. Here comes the opportunity to get established as a writer, which is blog writing. Now there are thousands, lakhs, or maybe millions of blogs that go out each and every day, and as a content writer, you have a scope to work with different kinds of niches, say, mental health and wellness, say beauty products, say fashion, say entrepreneurship, say lifestyle, and, a big four companies, management based companies, accountancy firms, and whatnot. You name it, and you have the opportunity to work with them. Now, When we talk about blog, there is a structural format that you can use while writing a blog, a proper kind of introduction, a proper kind of heading, what you are talking about, a proper kind of body line. You can use infographics, you can use illustrations to make it more appealing and attractive. And each and every business, say small scale business, say medium sized business, or large scale businesses, they do require blog writers, because what happens when we make use of SEO blogs, which is search engine optimization, more are the chances to, get your company page or get your website ranked on Google. And here is the chance to drive more leads organically. Moving ahead, article writings. Now, whenever I talk about articles, it is either referring to press releases articles, or say, getting the articles published in newspaper, or or writing for some magazines and newspapers. Now, why are still magazines or newspapers are credible source of information or knowledge? Because yes, definitely agreed, these are traditional sources of information and not the latest source or the digital source. But since these are the age old or traditional sources of information and knowledge, people have a strong faith and strong belief in it. And hence, when we talk about magazines or newspapers, it comes with tons of opportunities. You can write as a columnist, you can write as a specific page writer, you can write critical analysis of market. If you are into finance niche, you can write about reviews, which is into literary genre, which is, writing critical feedbacks about books or about movies which you watch. So hence there are tons of opportunities. The only thing is how you establish yourself and what creativity do you have within yourself. Now moving ahead, let's talk about social media writing. When we talk about online business, the most important and the crucial part is personal branding. Your personal branding, I always say, as salt is to taste, your personal branding is to your business, because personal branding is something which will drive more results, which will bring in more credibility and enhance the visibility of your business and your audience or your target audience. So when we talk about personal branding, there are CEOs, there are founders, managing directors of the companies who want to establish a very strong personal brand on social media, because the only way to be connected with people around in today's world is social media. Everyone is connected from any place, from any corner of the nation, from any part of the globe. We all are interconnected with each other via social media. So hence it's the most important platform. And we cannot disagree that social media forms a part of our daily life. In fact, a huge part of our daily lives. So especially if you are into a creator economy, if you are into entrepreneurship, solopreneurship, or digital media, personal branding is something which cannot be neglected. Hence, here comes the part or a role as a writer. You can offer services like personal branding. Say you can curate, you can write, or you can literally take up the contracts like, building a personal brand across different social media platforms. Say you can write social media posts for entrepreneurs, for CEOs, for managing directors, and even the small business owners. Why? Now here comes why. Because why will they outsource you this particular services? Because as a founder, as a business owner, my sole and core responsibility will be building up the proper teams, finding out clients, going forward with new pitches, and that's why I can save an ample amount of time and invest that particular time into my business. And hence my socials can be handled by someone who is actually the expert in this particular field, and hence these kind of services are also outsourced. So you can write and curate blogs, you can write LinkedIn post for them, you can handle their social media accounts, you can also write Twitter post for them, and hence this helps you in getting the wide area of opportunities. Closely work with qualified professionals and enhance your personal growth as a writer. Moving forward is copywriting. Whenever we talk about content based business or writing based business, content writing and copywriting is something which is always into, that content writing is better. No, copywriting is better. No, content writing is better. But actually, no business can survive without both, because content serves the purpose, whereas copy helps you to drive in sales. But what remains common in between both of them is writing. So, say for example, if this is a spectacle and I want to sell this. Now, to sell this, I will have to write an ad copy. stating about a particular one single USP and which will help me to drive more sales, more results, and get me more customers. We can prepare proper kind of ad copies, say proper kind of landing page on the particular website. So when we talk about copy, it is a very, very short and precise form of content which is being delivered. It basically means to get more leads and drive more customers into your business. But on the other hand, when we talk about content writing, it is about explaining the key features of your product, why as a customer I should use your product, and how will it benefit me. So content writing and copywriting both go like this, hand in hand in your business. Moving forward, we can talk about ebook writing or say book writing, which also comes under ghost writing. Now, we all know the meaning of ghost, something which is not visible, but yeah, we can feel the energy. Similarly, when we talk about ghost writing, it means you are writing for someone else and you won't be getting the credits for it. But yes, when we talk about this particular stream in writing, this has a highest potential to make you financially stable much more easier, you know, much quickly because from rest of the topics that I have shared with you, ghostwriting is something, yes, it is difficult. You will get time, you will take a bit of time to get stable into it, but it also has a lot of potential, exposure wise, money wise, both, and it can lead you in better terms when it comes to professional growth. But yes, why? Because you will be connected to more, a highly qualified individuals, highly qualified professionals or corporate clients. But yes, on the other hand, you won't be getting the credits for the work you are doing. So in case if you are okay by writing behind the screens without getting the credit, I think this particular stream of writing will be a cherry on top for you. And moving ahead, when I talk about ghostwriting, specifically, it can be, writing for research papers for PhD professionals or writing SOPs, that is statement of purpose for management, that is MBA and business management students, or writing ebooks or books for your clients. Because say if a person who is a multi business owner and he literally doesn't has time but he wants to launch his book, he wants to share what he has learned during his journey while establishing a $1 billion company. So now definitely he has a team of content writers, a team of content managers who can help him work with them closely and then bring out the results. But yes, the core ideation, the form of content that will be going into the book, the personal incidents, the learnings, and the lessons that will be shared is by the actual author. And once the ideations are transformed, you can curate that. So this also has a lot of potential. And now talking about podcast, that is podcast interviews or YouTube scripts. And when we talk about YouTube scripts, the major portion of the YouTube is acquired by edtech platforms, wherein you can actually learn small courses, small bite-sized courses, or if you want to learn something about a particular content or a particular topic and you want to avail a brief knowledge of it, you can literally type the keyword and you will get the results and then you can listen to the entire video. So what happens is, you see a person who is explaining a particular content in a very, very proper way. So at times it is scripted, like obviously, whenever you are about to deliver a speech or you're about to record a video, you at least prep up yourself and then you deliver the speech. So this is also a growing, emerging opportunity as a writer, that you can closely work with bloggers. Now, when we talk about bloggers, it is not necessary that it can only be travel bloggers. They can be lifestyle bloggers, they can be fashion bloggers, they can be entrepreneurial and solopreneur bloggers, and nowadays even independent freelancers also, create those mini vlogs sharing some personal insights about their lives. So yeah, YouTube, writing scripts and scripts not just for YouTube videos, but also as a script writer you can closely work with people who are into theater, who are into filmography, who are into, writing dramas, plays, skits, and short documentary films. So, just one major element writing, and such are the ample amount of streams, ample amount of opportunities that a person can get to work in. Now, this was about professional part of writing, right? Like how writing as a creative field you can divide that creativity, that passion into your profession and grow your professional life outshine your academic career. But now, when we talk about personal life, because see, as I said, when we talk about writing or any kind of such creative field, it is basically first looked over as a leisure time activity. But yes, slowly and gradually, after the progressive thought, after the development, we are now accepting that yes, not just typical kind of education, not just going to high schools, getting into undergraduation degrees, or getting spending 5 7 years into just education with no practical knowledge. The times have changed now. Even I see youngsters who are just in their high school, say 11th or 12th grade, they are now more conscious that yes, if we love coding, we can work as web developers, we can help people in creating their websites. So they are getting much more conscious and aware how important the practical knowledge is when it comes to career. How important is it to be creative in your own field and drive solutions to your business? And when we talk about business, creative solutions is something that we always talk about, because creativity is something which is within ourselves, which we as service providers or business owners definitely look forward to give to our customers. And our customers also love when we provide something creative, something which is relatable to their life. So, yeah, coming back to the part where we were talking about how writing can enhance your personal lives as well. As I say, when we tend to feel low, we can start writing. If we don't have someone who can, sit and listen to a problem, or if we feel uncomfortable or embarrassed in sharing a particular problem to someone, we can definitely, pick up a pen or a pencil, write it in our diaries. So writing is also a therapy. It is therapeutic when you spend time with yourselves alone. Well, I won't term it as alone. I would rather term it as enjoying your own solitude, embracing your solitude, and letting your thoughts flow. Because in this fast pacing world, where everything is rushing and rushing behind, we are behind our education, we are behind our careers, our life, our responsibilities. But at times it happens that definitely it's a human mind and not an Excel sheet that we can remember everything that we come across. So whenever we tend to feel low, and if we are not able to share that particular situation or conversation, or maybe an incident that has happened in our life, we can just take a diary and pen, and we can write it. Let the thoughts flow. Do not let your thoughts, your negativity, your toxic thoughts accumulate within yourself. This can later lead to many unwanted stuff that can happen in your life. We can practice gratitude writing, or say journal writing when it comes to writing. Like before going to bed, we can literally sit and write that how was the day and what am I thankful for. When we get up early in the morning, we can definitely, plan our entire day. And I always believe, and I have been following this. I read this particular statement in the book Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy, and he says that always plan your day on paper, and not just day, plan everything on paper. Because what you tend to plan, what you tend to write, and then you start, and then you begin your day, you execute your entire thing, you are following the process of accountability. And what does accountability mean? For example, I got up today early in the morning. I had written 7 tasks to be done in my entire day. And if I somehow fail to do 2 tasks, now I will be accountable for the same. And next time I will always keep into consideration that no, I should be more punctual. What were the reasons that I couldn't do that particular thing? So this is how writing, not just in your personal life and your professional life, but enhancing your personality as a whole. It helps you to bring a better side of your personality, more confident side of your personality, and literally keep you at peace, at calm, is what I believe. And I think many of the people around us believe, because slowly and gradually, writing is something that has evolved on a very large scale, not just in personal lives, but also when it comes to businesses, when it comes to solopreneurship or entrepreneurship. Writing is something which has been looked forward, when back there were the times that it was only constrained into the fields of literature. But it is always happy to see something growing and emerging. And we being in creator economy, when we try out being something creative, or we try to experiment with different stuff, it is always good to get proper feedbacks from the people. And you can literally showcase your particular product, your particular blog or article that you have written And might be there are chances you will get connected to more and more people, and the more people we get connected to, the more strong relations we keep building. So yeah, I think that was it about writing. How can writing evolve you as a person in your personal life, and opportunity, or say the wide area of opportunities and potential that writing brings in your professional careers?
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Sonali, for that wonderful topic you have shared. Like, just my thoughts, like when we were little, like how much we hate writing our names. But right now, writing is very impactful in any corner, like in every corner of the world, definitely. So that's just wonderful. Thank you for that emphasis on that field. And yeah, we are open for questions, actually, to our speaker, or just share your insight if you wish to. You can put it on chat, you can unmute, or you can put it in the Q&A section. Anyone from the, yes, go ahead. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
hi.
someone, yeah, Siva, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, hi. Disha here. Thanks, Sonali, for the nice orientation of about the content writing. One thing which I like from the whole presentation is the guidance or the tip that you provided, like plan your day and put it on the paper, not just verbally think or visualize it. So I think
Yeah.
that is something that to take forward, and it's really helpful. And another question I have is on the content rating, right? So how do you gauge, or what is the right size in terms of the content, like because of the online blogs and all, right? So what is the app size for audience to reach?
Well, when we talk about the content size, it exactly depends upon the requirement of your clients. But yes, if you are someone new who is starting out into the content industry, the average size I would say is 550 to 600 words, or you can also go with 400 to 500 words if you want to publish your blog or make your mock-up portfolio. And yeah, one thing that I missed talking about is mock-up portfolio. You know, when we start as a content writer, not just as a content writer, it can be any field. Say, for example, if you are a graphic designer, if you are a personal brand manager, if you are a logo designer or a brand designer, you can, create your mock-up portfolio, because definitely if you are someone new or a fresher who is starting out, obviously it means you are looking for the opportunities to work upon, to reach out to the people and work with them on the actual projects. But now when we talk about, say for example, when we go into multinational companies or corporates, what does the interviewer asks us is, what is the experience that you have? But as a fresher, if I don't have experience, I will definitely talk about my skills. The same thing comes into solopreneurship or freelancing, is that you can talk about your skills by showcasing your proof of work, which is your mock-up portfolio. And in your mock-up portfolio, you can mention about the niches that you are confident to work upon. Say, for example, as a content writer, if your area of interest is finance, but what exactly in finance? Because when we talk about finance, it is a broader element. But now, if you break it down into smaller parts, it can be personal finance, it can be investment banking, it can be wealth management, it can only be writing about loans and mortgages. So it depends on which particular niche that you want to work upon. And then you can maybe have a mock-up portfolio of say 4 articles, and then you can mention your social handles. Say for example, if you have a blog site, or you are someone who is active on LinkedIn and you post daily, you post an article or one blog on LinkedIn, you can mention your social handle and the person can check upon the credibility, and if he's interested to work upon, he can definitely work with you. So this is how you create your mock-up portfolio. And as you asked about the average count, I would say for blog, it will be, not too short, not too lengthy. Keep it in between 5 to 600 words.
Got you. All right. Thank you so much.
Most welcome.
Thank you for the interaction, Siva.
Yeah, thank you, Sonali. That was such a comprehensive overview in very short time. You know, as we call this Zipinar and we zip multiple topics, you
Right,
did
right.
complete justice. And then let me ask you, what is the challenge that you see in the whole content writing? I mean, right now you may be going through some challenges while you're helping your clients, right? What's your biggest challenge?
Well, definitely, challenges make your business more interesting. So, the major challenge in the content industry, is the fear of plagiarism or getting your content copied, because many a times it happens. Say, for example, if I have posted a blog for my client on his social media handle with due credits, but at times it happens that some other person will copy that entire blog or entire content and will post the same thing. So what happens? It forms the repetition of the content, and this can lead to plagiarism, copying of content, which is actually illegal. But as we say that, who has that sole authority? Because they will say that we have researched upon this topic and we have posted by ourselves. So I think that a credibility part and plagiarism part can be a threat. And also talking about uh, the dynamic, the dynamic thing when we talk about content, because definitely when we talk about business, your sole mission is to drive results to your clients, and not every time the results that you see is in numbers, is in money count, is in impressions and reach, because it all requires the consistency of a long term consistency. When we talk about personal branding, when we talk about SEO blogs, when I talk about, say, script writing, or am I audible? I just heard the crack.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah. So when I talk about these particular areas, so the major part, I just forgot what I was, yeah, talking about the dynamic industry, right? So I think the major part is not exactly driving the results every time into numericals, that is, money or say the numbers. Because what happens in social media or the online agency, the results that you see, maybe say LinkedIn impressions, maybe say your Instagram reach, the working of the algorithms, the SEO, that is the results that you get from search engine optimization, not every time it will be always high. So the challenge that comes in, how do you change your strategies, or what if there is a current strategy that I've employed, how can I change it, how can I tweak it and try to bring out the best results each and every time. So I think, yeah, definitely, no matter which profession or which industry you talk about, everything depends upon the skills, depends upon the consistency, because something, there's this um 1%, getting better 1%. This thought in the book Atomic Habits by James Clear, because when we do something consistently each and every day, we get better and better and better and progressive in that particular field. So I think it's all because of consistency, with definitely your creativity, your field of interest in which you are working in, that tends to drive in results. And no matter whatever the challenges are, we can definitely, cope it up.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. So that was Rini, the CEO of Cogent, who's behind Let Us Talk It Zipinar. All right, thank you so much. And we will go now to the next topic for today's Zipinar session. And yeah, really appreciate for giving a little of your time for presentation, Major. But definitely I'll start it as we will be talking about intuitive intelligence in decision making through yogic management. So, intuitive intelligence has been impacted by technology with different types of analytics available, yet decision making is a challenge. In this discussion, Major Nithi CJ will share food for thought on how yogic management assists in building intuitive intelligence. So Major Nithi CJ is an Indian Army veteran with a decade of experience in military leadership. Now, as an FIT India ambassador and a yogic management coach, she explores various aspects of human behavior and lifestyle with yoga as a tool. Without further ado, let's start the topic right ahead. And here I present to you Major Nithi.
Greetings, everyone. Namaste. I'm Neeti. I'm from India. I thank Zipinar for this opportunity. This is a very beautiful platform that you have provided for our entrepreneurs, our leaders, where they can explore and understand topics in the shortest possible time. Really good work done there. So when we talk of intuition, I would like to quote here Padma Bhushan Shriyam, a spiritual leader from India, who says, most intelligent people quickly discover the limitations of the intellect. Then one says, now, this is not working. This is not going to work. So what can I do? Then some other faculty opens up, and that is intuition, the true intuition. I'm sure many of us have taken intuitive decisions in our life. There have been many such situations. We often call it in our layman language as gut feeling, whatever the gut says, and we go ahead with that decision. There are times when we do not listen to the gut and things have gone wrong for us. I'm not completely professing that we should stick to intuitive intelligence, but why this particular part of the human cognitive mind is very important to keep our human evolution intact, the human consciousness intact. That is where I want to give you all a food for thought. We all make decisions generally in two different processes. The first process is we take data, we take logic and facts, and the second is based on intuition. Intuition is our intuitive sense of finding what we in the army call as the best course of action. It's not exactly a conscious reasoning. There's no reason behind it. However, intuition comes from paying attention to one's own emotion. When we make decisions, leaders primarily rely on and benefit from the facts and information. But often, there is competing or incomplete information. In the intelligence parlance, we always used to use this term, information gaps. And when you progress, when you develop your business intelligence, you will realize that gap is something which always remains. So what does one do in such a situation? In these cases, trusting your intuition becomes a valuable leadership quality. Bill Gates quotes, often you have to rely on intuition. Now, when we come to intuitive intelligence, it is defined as combination of four abilities: the ability to think holistically, a holistic approach to the problem, the ability to think paradoxically, the ability to listen and connect to oneself and others, the ability to lead by influence rather than design. These days, with the influencer role being very crucial in our social media platforms, this particular aspect also plays a very important role in building our leadership. Now, there are four kinds of intuitive thinking if we talk of. There is mental, there is emotional, there's psychic, and of course, the spiritual intuitive thinking. Now, one would think, does that mean intuition or an intuitive intelligence rare? Well, here's the surprise for all of us. Yes, intuition is a gift, but a gift that every one of us possesses. The science says it's clear intuition is a powerful force of the mind that can help us make better decisions. There's also a Zen proverb that I came across, which says silence isn't empty, it's full of answers. So where does yogic management fit in all these things? That's where I would like to refer to one of the oldest texts in yogic sciences called the Patanjali Sutras, the Yoga Sutras written by sage Patanjali, wherein he speaks of mental patterns, mental modifications, which he calls as chitta vrittis, chitta meaning mind and vrittis meaning mental modifications. And yoga, or the union of the mind, the body, and our true self. When we align these things, when these three parts are in harmony, that's when you can overcome these mental modifications. Now, what are the major leadership and entrepreneurship challenges we face? So strategycoach.com brings out 4 major challenges. First is teamwork and delegation. Second, focus and productivity. Third is, of course, most common these days, work-life balance issues. It's work from home coming in. This is something which has become very crucial, especially for the employers, not just for the employees, but also for the employers. When we speak of the fourth challenge, it is habit forming and goal achievement. There are many goal setting exercises. There are many goal setting activities that are being promoted, that are being conveyed by many lifestyle coaches. But all this will only benefit you if you learn how to overcome your own mind thoughts, like the previous speaker brought out, that thoughts, when we try to control our thoughts, the more they come. So it is very important to make our thoughts flow. How do you overcome biases? That's where experiential learning comes into play. In the army, we had this culture where after every 2 years, we were posted from one place to another. This is simply to bring in that every day is a learning experience. Of course, there is a background knowledge. You have to use that background information, but let that background information not be the sole foundation of how you take ahead your business leadership. So how does yogic management help in all this? It helps in managing the mind. When we visit a beautiful lake, if we try to put our finger into it or we throw a stone to do those frog jumps, what it creates is ripples. When there are ripples, we are not able to see the lake clearly. We can't see its base, we can't see any reflection in it. But the moment we allow the water to settle, we are able to see the reflection of the trees, the sky, to the extent we can see the depth of the lake. How does this translate in our human lives? The moment we try to control our thoughts, we are focusing on all those ripples coming on the surface. But if we allow them to settle, we are in a situation to see the depth of ourselves and the reflection of our own things, of our own actions, of our own intentions. This is where what we call as swadhyay, or daily introspection of oneself, is very important. There are many ways to do this. We can log our thoughts, we can do thought dumping, we can write journals, or simply in the yogic culture, which we call as mauna, or sitting in silence. When you sit in silence, you will suddenly see a gush of thoughts flowing in. But if you are patient enough and allow it to settle, you will definitely reflect upon more important aspects of yourself and whatever vision or aim you have for yourself. Second thing is mind-body connection. There is a very, very important connection between the mind and the body. Most of the psychosomatic diseases these days that we see are generated from the thoughts, from the mind. An unfulfilled expectation or desire leads to discontentment. This discontentment will lead to tensions, lead to anxiety, lead to some blood pressure issues, stress, and that turns into more chronic issues. Because the moment we are so focused on seeing what our mind is giving us, we have forgotten what has to be looked into our body. Or the other way, if we are focusing too much into other things around us, We are not focusing on synchronizing these two aspects of our life. Now, the word psychosomatic means something that germinates in the mind and manifests in the body. There are very few problems which are somatopsychic in nature. That means happening in the body but affecting the mind. Such problems are very less. However, problems which generate from the mind and translate into diseases are more. Psychosomatic problems are many in number, not only the ones identified by psychiatric associations of the world, but other than that, we have negativity, we have toxicity, we have jealousy, we have anger, hatred, greed, intolerance. We are seeing all that spilling over around us. We have to be careful of them. How do we protect our mind from it? That's where yoga offers various practices in the form of asanas, in the form of pranayamas, in the form of meditation, meditative tools, which can help you align your mind with your body. Now, the next thing where yogic management helps us is managing emotions. So, yoga has one genre called as bhakti yoga, that is giving unconditional love or regard to any form you look up to any mentor or anything in your life. You allow that flow of emotions to happen till a point comes where you kind of do not feel attached to that thing. However, you are only related to it. You feel involved in it. Involvement is very important if you want to achieve your business goals or your visions of your life. Attach and detach. This is something I used to use often to even my juniors in the army. Attach and detach. Attach only that much that you stay involved into it. And thereafter, you have to detach yourself from that particular task. Now, integration of head, heart, and hands. As entrepreneurs, this is something we have to look into. Big brands, you would have observed, always get into their role in corporate social responsibility. As human beings, we have a lot to contribute to our country, to our world, to our people, to the entire ecosystem. And that's where we have to integrate our head, our minds, our innovative thoughts, our creativity, align it with our heart, have that compassion, have that warmth, have that empathy for people. And yes, hands, what we call as karma yoga or the yoga of doing action or doing something for the society. Your visions should be defining how are you going to integrate your head, your heart and hands in a way that you give something back to the society. So how does one benefit from yogic management? What are the practices available through yogic management? Visualization practices, mind mapping, mission boards, of course, these are spoken a lot about, and there are a lot of literature available out there. But not just consistently doing it, but giving it clarity every time you visit your mind map again, whatever task you have taken up, visiting it again and looking it with that critical eye that have I given it that clarity which is necessary? The more the clarity you give to it, the more you chop all the unnecessary things from your vision board, you will evolve into a better leader. The second thing, which is very important as business leaders, is observation practices. Observe your environment, observe your competitors, observe the market, observe the people who are your target audience, observe their requirements. When you are a good listener, you would have all heard this, be a good listener. But what is it being a good listener? When you say you have to be a good listener, not just listen to whatever is being told to you, but also read through these minds. What is the essence? What are the intentions? What are the expressions they are trying to bring to you? When you become observant, the more silent you go, the more observant you will become. I often make this very interesting auditory practice. I make my participants do this, and you may try at your homes. Sit down, say in the night, just sit before going to bed. Close your eyes and hear the noises, hear the sounds around you. You can start from immediately near the ear. Try to observe, do you have any sound in your body? Take it to your ears. Slowly take it to your premises around your, in the room you are sitting. Take it to your neighborhood. And then further take it to the road, which is leading to your street. Go as far as you can. And once you have reached the farthest point, again, step by step, come back to these premises. How this practice helps you? This makes you observant of all the sounds around you and how these sounds can impact you. In yogic culture, we have the use of mantras, a very important tool, what we in the modern parlance call affirmations. They are nothing different. You can create your own mantra, create your own affirmation. Saying these affirmations to yourself in your voice has that impact that, okay, I am ready for this, I am confident for this. Our voice is the most healing thing for our own selves. So here are few food for thoughts that I thought of sharing with all of you. And I hope this helps. I've just given a glimpse on how yogic management works, what all does the yogic scripture contain, and all this, whatever I've spoken of, are given in these scriptures, are available to us in rich texts, which are available through the net. You can order from libraries. There are very interesting books written by various spiritual leaders on how to enhance your intuitive intelligence. Because at the end of the day, if we lose the humanness in our leadership, then we are not creating a society, an evolved society. We are only regressing. So thank you so much. These are my thoughts on intuitive intelligence. I hope these tips help you through your careers. Thank you.
Really, thank you so much, Major Nithi. That's really insightful, and it really is indeed a food for our thoughts. Thank you so much for sharing your insights as well as your. It came from your personal experience, and we wish if there are anyone who would like to ask question or interact with our speaker with regards to the topic, or anything you wish to discuss, please feel free to unmute your mic or put it on the chat. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was such a great session. I really like the way you explained about the ripples in the water and how figuratively you compared. That's really awesome. And also, yeah, all the other tips that you provided. So, what do you do? What are the various services that you provide?
So in my venture, I call it Nira Yoga. Nira meaning absolute or light. That is what Nira means. We support our participants. Of course, they all come with their own life challenges. We support our participants with taking them through yogic practices, facilitating them through yoga, definitely in the form of asana, pranayama, and meditation. And we also customize their practices with the rich knowledge of Ayurveda. Constantly, we support them life tips from yogic texts and spiritual leaders, masters, whatever they have given us in the past. And that's how we build, we coach them, we assist them in dealing their lifestyles.
Okay, great. And one general question is that now everybody knows that yoga is good, and
Yeah.
yoga is one of those things. And if you do, you can celebrate more birthdays and cut more birthday cakes. But even then, even then, we don't. Some of us who don't want to do yoga. So why? What is in what is there in that human nature that is stopping us to practice this good thing?
Um, Firstly, of course, how we prioritize things in our life. Now, yoga or we take Ayurveda, both are synchronized together. Yoga as a process, it takes time. It is an evolutionary process, so it takes significant time. And people want quick results. These days, we are a generation where we want everything on click of a button. So I think so that is where the patience which we want to keep, because one very important shloka I would like to quote here from the Yoga Sutras, which says Vairagya Bhyasam Tan Nirodha. That means if you practice dispassionately yet consistently, then only you can get over these mental modifications. So this is where the whole challenge is. Our attachments to desires, simple desires of having one more hour of sleep is something that stops us from following the regime. However, there have been instances where I've seen that people, if they have adhered and worked towards it in a disciplined fashion, yoga has given tremendous results in very short span of time. Now, the results from yoga is something like you plant a seed. Now, if you water it every day, will we see some change in that? I don't think so. But one fine day, you will see a small sapling which has come up. And you'll be like, oh, where did this come from? That is how yoga grows. And for that, we have to allow it to nurture, allow it to grow in us like that. I hope
Yeah.
I've answered your question.
Yes. Yes. No. In fact, from LetUsTalkIt platform, we started online yoga sessions from last 2 years, and we are
Oh,
still
that's
continuing
great.
the Wednesdays and Sundays. uh, and also, like we have, I mean, more yoga practitioners and holistic practitioners joined our team. And recently, one of the persons, where he does the healing through the mantras, the Sanskrit chanting.
Yes.
So what
Yes.
I'm thinking is really because we have this Zipinar session every Wednesday at
Yeah.
12 p.m. time, right? So at the beginning of this Zipinar session, I was trying to see if at all we can have a 15-minute, kind of a soul searching, meditation or mantras or whatever, right? That 15 minute, and then whoever wants, they can come join for first 15 minutes, and then after that, the Zipinar would start.
Oh,
So it's
that's really amazing. That's
yeah,
really
it's
amazing. Yes.
a break. I will definitely, our team will get in touch with you further on how to collaborate. And that
Sure.
can make a big difference in terms of getting your return on investment of all the time throughout the day, whatever you're doing, work, business, whatever, right? So yeah,
Yes.
thank you for your time. That really means a lot to us, all the speakers today. And also, just to
Thank
let you
you.
know, we have the startup, fitness startup related to the fitness yoga app. So that
Great.
will be shortly starting at the same Zoom link. People interested can stay back. And we have these startups every week on Wednesdays sometimes, and then but every week regularly Sunday nights 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. We have various startup founders presenting their startups. So yeah, thank you again, everybody. And Phil, I'll let you continue.
Yes, I'm sorry. Thank you so much, Rini. And as much as we'd love to and stay and collaborate, with future discussions with some, yeah, with definitely interesting topics. We hate to say we have to end the Zipinar topic for now, as we are only allowed it for an hour. But definitely, we are hoping to see you again on the next Wednesday for the same time, the same length of the discussion, and but we will have two new wonderful topics and two new great speakers to be with us again. And thank you so much for staying, and thank you so much for listening. This video will be uploaded by YouTube, and you can actually rewatch there. Thank you so much, everyone, and take care as always, and keep safe. All the
Yeah.
best.
The Zoom is still on. We are going to continue into the the yoga startup app. People interested can stay back. Yeah.